Right, so I'll go ahead and get started. I think you might have seen this agenda, but it's just spending a few minutes to cover why your landing page is important. Then I'll go through a few landing pages I've come across at various stages in the cycle. Then I'll hopefully get enough time to do a demo of a setup, and then Q&A. And stop me anywhere if you have questions. You don't have to save them until the end, seeing as we're a small group. So I guess product development cycle, there's so many cycles that I've found, you know, there's 7-stage, 5-stage, 8-stage, but I've just picked this one from HubSpot, not necessarily like a go-to, but just as an example. The product goes through development where at that stage, there must be some sort of idea about what do I want to do, what problem am I solving, and a lot of the times I've found that people have thought of a product. Startups might say, oh, I want to use AI to solve this certain problem, but not really thought about, one, how bad is this problem for my customers, but two, they might have like a workaround around it, and it's something that, you know, oh, I've got a free workaround, so I'm not going to spend on it, and there's not that real pull that, you know, you're really going to like fix a huge problem for them. So I think when you're at that development stage, you can get stuck into thinking, I know what I want to do, I know what technology I want to use, and just kind of jump into it. And at that stage, if you have a landing page, if you are interacting with real users, people who are interested, you can stay on kind of the right track where you build the right features, build kind of what is needed. And I think that stays throughout the cycles of not just product development, but also product launch. This is a few examples of a launch that Kat from YC has shared. And I think we were glad to watch it and realize that we've done the same thing. Kind of our silent launch was when we figured out there was no landing page builder that worked for my husband and I, and we were like, oh, okay, let's make one then. So that was kind of for us, but then we realized that speaking to other people in these startup schools that, oh, they face the same problem. So kind of skipping the friends and family launch for us, just because I don't think that kind of network would be kind of our target audience. But yeah, the stranger launch, I think, was where in startup school we spoke about this idea, and we didn't start building anything. We just spoke about the idea, did it, because as you probably know, there's loads of landing page builders out there. So it's like, okay, you know, are they not happy with the landing page builders, but they can kind of use them and then kind of find a way to work around it. And I think what we've found is that non-technical people are happy with that. So they'll start off with one of these drag and drop landing page builders, and kind of once their product iterates, they might go and find a developer who can actually make the site for them. So I guess if we're in these early stages of launch, which are like silent launch, online community, you want a page that you can share, which is at the beginnings, maybe just even a hero, which is like a title, this is what we do, and these are our features. And then the most important thing is the sign up to hear more. And that's where you can collect your initial users who are interested, will hopefully give you early feedback so that you're on the right track with the right features. It's something we did at every page, and it's worked for us. And then I guess as you get that feedback, you know what features you're developing, you're launching these features, you've got an initial audience to then deliver that to. And then, you know, you deliver that first launch, you get that more feedback, and then your page will be less focused on sign up for updates, but more focused on get early access to beta and providing those discounts so that if they enjoy your tool, then they can go and share that with other people. And then kind of keep iterating that page. And because the iteration is important, we've tried to make that as easy as possible with every page. And so I'll just show you a couple of examples. Can you still see my screen, actually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so this is a site not made with every page, but someone who asked me to just review the page to see if it's giving the right messaging. And I really liked her page in particular. it's not addressing me at the moment. I only have one property, but I can see that it's kind of connecting with me, that if I were to rent out my property, I know I'm not an expert. So she's really connecting well here, saying, you know, you don't have to be an expert, but you can kind of do this yourself with our tool. And then a nice button that really stands out to say, you know, you can join the beta. In her case, she's asked for a bit more details than an email. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's good if it's just an email, and then it's easy for people to just pop that in. Reminding people you're not going to use it for spam usually helps to give them confidence to put their email in there. But that's an example of a kind of early page. She's got a demo there as well. Shows you a few features, how it works, and then if you're a tenant, why it worked for you, but also if you're a landlord, why it worked for you. So really connecting with your user, and then, you know, ideally they're kind of thinking, yeah, this works for me, let me sign up. She's also included pricing, which suggests she's a bit more further in the development life cycle, where she knows what people would pay and has an understanding of that, which is also nice to show that it's coming soon, even though it's not defined. And again, like reminding people that they can share their emails. What I might do is I'll just select one from each of these stages. That was kind of an early stage. And then kind of in the launching stage, there's someone who's on their page with every page. He's got a loan management tool. And so he's got his app download buttons on the hero itself. So if you're already convinced just reading that initial text, I know it's not that fleshed out, but if you are and you see a demo of what you expect with that image, you might want to download it straight away. But then you read on and you see the features, see the benefits you'll get from this app, see some testimonials, which are really good for convincing users to actually pick up your product, some statistics there, and then FAQs. These are good because, like, if you're prompted whilst you're reading some questions, it's nice just to address that, because someone who's reading won't necessarily get in touch with you and ask you the questions. And then you've got the download buttons there again. And then all the way to an established product where you've got more information to share. So this is something my husband actually made a while ago, which is a word search app. Just showing like the different ways, the different features, how it's fun to learn, some statistics and testimonials. And then he's removed this recently, but there was a pricing information. So you can see like how the page needs to be fleshed out more and more as you go through the product development cycle. And so that's basically why I wanted to show how important it is today, just to kind of remind, I think, taking Charlene's example of the kind of idea that you have. And sometimes it's like you can do your 1-minute pitch to someone who you might be talking to, but having a landing page to share will just mean that you can then give it to one kind of stakeholder you might be working with, and they can easily share what you're doing if they just have this link. So I think that's hopefully covered why landing pages are so important. And I'll pause there actually for any questions, and then the next thing I'll do is just show you how you can quickly get signed up. Has anyone got any questions so far?
I think I wonder, just in general, I don't know if any of these examples are more business to business, but with our startup, we've been kind of going back and forth between whether our customer is the consumer or a business.
Yes.
And if it is a business, do you have kind of a separate landing page, or is there a way to kind of combine both into one?
Yeah, so I think, tell me if this doesn't answer your question, but with the Juggle landing page, which was a property management one, she talked about how the tool would be helpful to both sides of the marketplace, but I have seen others have it complete one landing page for, in this example, landlords, and another landing page for tenants. So I think in your situation, it would make sense to perhaps have two separate landing pages. In the future, not just for your different marketplaces, but in the future, we do want to have things like A/B testing, so you can test if one type of hero or features works well for your audience. And then the other thing is we're quite early in our journey, so we aren't just like, we started writing down a whole load of templates that we think would work for our users, but then we realized that we don't really know what everyone's working on, so let's just build our templates as our users come. And so as you saw, we had a mobile app template, and then we've used our own product template. But for example, with what you're working on, that would give us an idea of B2C product type template. So it's something that you could definitely do, but I might not have like the most relevant example to share right now. That makes sense?
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
No worries. I can get in touch with you after this if you need to. Cool. Anyone else with any questions? So someone, I don't know if they're on the call, but they did send me a design of their landing page that they wanted to build. So I said I could do that on the call, but I'll show you guys anyway. So she's working on a clear green bond impacting reporting and then less green washing. So I'm just gonna, the first bit here is your metadata, which it helps with your kind of SEO. So you can put in keywords here, a tagline, and it helps with that. But we've got a separate kind of tutorial to show you how that's done. But I'll just move on to kind of populating the page itself. And actually a step back, this declaring your page in Json is something I was completely unfamiliar with before I started at Every Page. I have no technical background, so once I just Googled what is JSON and got a bit of an understanding of it, I understood how these fields are populated. So it might look a little bit daunting to some people, but it is simple, I assure you. So this is a hero sign up. The title text here, we want to change that to clear green bond. And she wants to highlight that there's less green washing. So we just put some asterisks against that and it will change the color there. And then she's got a little subtitle here, which is empower. And then where we've got a logo image, you can put a link here, but we usually advise for media to be updated. So if you take it from here, just copy that text and pop that into your logo image URL. And then that will kind of show here. Again, because she's got kind of green in her imaging, you can change the color of the text here. I think that a lot of the theming can be changed, but again, that will be shared separately. And then here you would need to fill out details, which is kind of this section here, the form action, the input action. We use Sendy and we collate our emails and on there. We have guidance for how to do that with MailChimp, and there's loads of providers. So if you just kind of let us know which provider you have, then we can show you what needs to be filled in here. And then in her example, she's got 3 features which have kind of an icon, a title, and a text. So I'll just do one example for now. Her description is racist. Then you can see your icons can be set with, got about 5 providers of icons. Again, we'll share that separately how to do that, but having something that just connects with it, kind of like a infograph or something. And then for our pre-launch template, that's all we've advised you'd need, but she has got testimonials that she wants to add as well. So that would simply be adding a section and then going down. So testimonials, her format is with the boxes, but you can also have them kind of in a slideshow. And that just gets added to the bottom of your page. So if you want to put that earlier, it's just a simple case of copying that text or cutting it and then adding it. I think if I just put it before the footer, can just move that there. And then, yeah, literally just update that like I did for the other sections. And then, add as many sections as you want. You can add a nav bar if you've got kind of buttons that you want them to see all the time, and fix that nav bar. You've got different types of heroes, the download buttons, sign up buttons, different types of displays for your features, pricing, stats, FAQs, yeah, and so on. So just to add an example, your nav bar, it's just gone to the bottom, so I'll take that up. And so we'd have that as the first section. Yeah. And then you can either direct to different links, or you can direct to certain sections of your page. So if I change that to one of the features, feature boxes, then what I need to do is just add an ID to that, which is the same as what it's called, just so that it knows what to connect with. Add a comma, and then kind of say awesome features. Oops, just that bit should be added. And then it will kind of scroll down there. So yeah, I think that covers the main bits about kind of how to quickly get your landing page up. Obviously the biggest task is actually writing your copy and making sure it's like focused on language that helps your user to understand what you're doing and then to kind of quickly convert. And part of our paid tiers will be a review of your landing page, just because I've built up the experience of the different components that make it up and reviewed about 100 or so other sites to give feedback. So for kind of this group, I'd be happy to, for free, just share some feedback on your landing page once you get that up, just because I know how important it is, and I want to help you to get those initial users. So I'll stop there, and then if you've got any questions, just let me know.
That's a great layout. I love it. It looks so easy. I ended up using Squarespace for mine, but this is really nice. I'm like, oh, this is really, maybe I could use this still for the community that I'm building.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think we see how kind of Squarespace and other landing page builders are kind of helpful in terms of you can see the design and things, but this is probably slightly cheaper than Squarespace, but also focused on kind of copy first and then design. I think at the beginning, I didn't realize this myself, but when I was looking to build a landing page, I was like, oh, these are really good because I can visually see what it will look like. But then I spoke to someone to review the page, and they were kind of like, how much time have you spent on design versus the actual content and copy? So, I mean, whichever you use now, I hope that you realize the emphasis on copy that we're trying to share.
That's a good point. I did spend a lot of time on the design too. Hopefully the content's okay.
Yeah, feel free. I think we were chatting on Slack, so feel free to drop me the link of your page, and I'm happy to review it if it helps. I might not be your target audience, but hopefully I can help in some way.
Great. Thank you so much. This is great.
No worries. Anyone else? Any questions? I've just seen Adrian's put his page on here. I'm happy to review that. I know other people might need to drop off, but I can stay on to review.
I have to go, but thank you again so much, and really appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I'll just open that up. Cool, this looks nice. So the most powerful tool to grow and connect with your podcast audience. Yeah, I like that, like the most powerful tool. Good image that kind of connects well with voice blasts. I think you could do with making your sign up buttons a bit bigger so they kind of stand out, a bit like this image really stood out to me first. And then perhaps taking out explore, because especially at this stage, whilst there's nothing to see, you want to hopefully, I think at the beginning, have just one CTA on your page, because if your readers are seeing loads of things they can click on, they might quickly divert from the page, and then you might lose them. Whereas if the only option is to sign up, then you quickly get their email. And then I guess these are artists that have joined already. Yes, join these creators. And then I'm not sure if it's working yet because it's just a sample, but maybe having a testimonial from them so that when they click on it, it's like Voice Plus was great because of XYZ. That would really help. And then, yeah, I think that's it. What else could I suggest for your page? Yeah, I think the main thing is that CTA, and maybe you've got enough space to maybe share a bit more about what you're doing, either here or adding a section on features so people can know what to expect. Cool. Yeah, you've heard that. You're just muted. Okay, cool. Happy to help. And if you are updating your page, whether it's with every page or not, just drop me a message. I think what I'll do, I'll drop my email on here, and then feel free to get in touch with any questions in the future. Anyone else have any questions? Thank you all for attending, and I hope you've been able to take something away from this session, and I'd love to stay in touch with you all. Thank you.